Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode, folks. I'm back again in World of Warcraft on the Death Knight, and of course it's time to do some episodes. After several runs in the dungeons here in Hellfire Peninsula, I thought I might as well start cracking on with some of the quests that we have available to us and get some levels that way. Also, we do need to get the experience or the reputation with Honor Old, so that is one of the things that we're looking forward to. And luckily I have completed these on the Paladin recently, which the series is a bit behind, and I'm gonna have to look at some method of bringing them up to speed a bit quicker. But this is the plan for this episode, so I do want to thank everybody that have joined me and will be watching this. I really do appreciate that. And we're going to start with the quest here in the I think this is called the Path of Glory or something of the sort. And so yeah, it says right up there in the upper right corner, so it is the Path of Glory. I don't even know why I tried to remember it, but I suppose it's a good thing that I'm trying to remember these things. We have to basically bless the skeletal remains of dead, and we're using some sort of Draenei type of oh, excuse me, that was a hiccup.
It's still recharging.
But yeah, we're using some sort of Draenei blessing item, and we're gonna try and get as many done as quickly as possible. Obviously, with the Death Knight, we are able to do things a heck of a lot quicker than I could have done with the Paladin, for two reasons actually. The first reason would be, of course, that well, that was weird. I got a group invite. I'm not in a dungeon finder. Oh, I am. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Really doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, I can do these a bit quicker for two reasons. One, I recently have done these, so I kind of know what I'm doing, where things are, how quickly to get to them, and stuff like that. But also with the pre-patch, things have become somewhat easier with regards to farming. Now, I'm not sure how much easier they were as compared to before, but I'm finding it much easier, to be honest. And I'm a lot more confident, so I am enjoying the Death Knight, to be honest, and I'm pretty sure the Death Knight will be a class that I'll be playing quite a lot. I'm hoping it's not going to take over my my Paladin. If it does, it does, but quite honestly, I really like the Death Knight. It's just one of those things, I like the playstyle, I like the Death Knight's abilities as well. These guys walk pretty fast. Alright. So as you can see, they're not really hurting us. Now, I am on the blood spec. I do wonder, this is one of the things I'm quite curious. Now, in the what is now known as so what is the actual World of Warcraft, so retail World of Warcraft, they made changes to the specs and abilities. I believe initially Frost was the tank spec, and then Blood was a tank spec later on, or it got turned into the tank spec. I hope they don't make those changes to the actual game. It'll be a sad day when they do that, because I like the Death Knight the way it is before it got changed out, to be honest. I think it makes it quite a unique class to play. But I do remember that at some point through the Lich King content, they changed it out where initially, so right now, as it currently stands in this version, the Blood spec is the DPS spec, and I think the Unholy spec is also DPS. And I think they did it so that they changed it so that the Blood spec became the tank spec, which honestly, I think, I mean, I didn't like it. They changed it out. It wasn't healing as much, if that makes sense. Well, that's how I felt. They made some changes that I wasn't really happy with. I still liked the class of Death Knight. There was a lot of cool stuff to it, but I think the way it is right now is actually quite cool. I like the way it plays. There we go. I mean, these guys are a bit spread between each other, so it's a bit difficult trying to get big groups. That is kind of what I'm going for. I do want to get the groups to be somewhat bigger. I can make big pulls with the Death Knight. I'm actually quite confident with that. And one of the reasons that I'm confident about it is due to all of the heal abilities that I have. So it does actually make my life easier. I mean, I took down an NPC just here, and I still was at full health. Taking 3 of them down, and, you know, really all I have is but a scratch. So this is one of the things I need to do. There we go. I mean, so far we've done 2 quests already. Alright. Let's get some more of these guys. I think there's 2 of them that I need to destroy, and then there's a big one that we do on a griffin or something like that. There we go. That's more like it. I like a bit of a challenge. I mean, I've killed the Fellhound at the same time an NPC that I was targeting died. And it's best we don't stand in fire. Fire is not good. Oh, hello. I didn't realize the Fellhounds dropped those things. I was always under the impression that they didn't. Well, I guess now I know. So I'll go towards the teleporter up there to the right. Basically, I know that one needs to be done. Let's get this dude. The Fell Handler. Tell you what though, they look pretty cool. I like the way these Fell Handlers work. And I'm not sure why the Netherhound was not aggroed in that. Now, normally I would have left this dude alone, thinking he doesn't drop the... There we go. The shard or the thing that we need to pick up. But he does, so, you know, lucky for him. Or unlucky for him. Okay. Gonna need a few more. Let's try. Okay. I can do it from out here. Alright, that's it. That's us done. So we're finished here. We're gonna move on to the next quest. I suppose I can go... Yeah, okay, cool. We can do the cannons or ballistas on the other side, or on the side of the Path of Glory. And we can burn those as well. So it's not on this end, it's on the other side. So quickly cross over here. Okay, so we can see one here. Trying to find the item. Okay, let's use this one. That's one down. Someone's already cleared out the area, so that does make life easier for me. We don't need Zen more, so those were spares. I was kind of getting carried away with killing and grabbing loot along a bit. Yeah, so this one right here is another one we need to do. That's it. Tell you what, these ballistas are huge. There was, I was, better said, thinking that I'd have to fight stuff for it, but no, by the looks of it, that's not it. Not the case. I can just kind of happily farm these without being annoyed by the NPCs in the area. And there we go. That's 3 quests completed, all in 10 minutes. Whereas in the past, it would have taken me 10 plus minutes to complete just 1 quest. So definitely a time changer. Of course, with this last quest, it did help the fact that other players were on it and or in similar quests or in the area doing different quests, but kind of around the similar objective, if that makes sense. And that has made my life easier. Ooh, we're gonna aggro a couple of folks here. We're just gonna run past and pretend we don't see them. Hopefully they don't see us either. Okay, this is not good. Oh, there. Oh well. We're gonna get all of them. Okay, we got the caster at the bottom there. No, he's reconsidered. He just shot a shadow bolt in my direction and then just decided to wander off. See, I was when I got this mounted here, I was actually looking forward to fighting multiple targets. See, I don't know how they would do it, and I think they've made the game easier. But I was gonna say it's nice when you're able to fight multiple targets, but when you're good to fight multiple targets because you're skilled at it, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I'm that skilled. This is just the second character. I still have loads of gaming to do on World of Warcraft before I can actually say I'm skilled at it. But I'm definitely confident with the Death Knight. And I don't know. I like the class. And what I do like about it is I don't have to wait for mana. I think that's one of the things that I'm enjoying, if that makes sense. With the Paladin, I could have probably gone a lot quicker with the Paladin. The issue is mana. You always have to wait for mana, so you end up finding yourself in a situation where you have to think about preserving mana as you're fighting enemies, as you go from one enemy to another. Otherwise you'll just be sat down drinking whatever brews, whatever drinks to recover mana quicker. So you'll spend a lot of time just being sat down, so that automatically slows down the amount of killing that you do, the amount of questing that you do. And so that's just kind of the downside to mana. But they do have the ability of hitting pretty hard, and unlike the Paladin, I can maybe sustain myself, but I can't heal myself or others really well. And I don't have really actually any buffs. Okay, let's have a look over here. Okay, we have that. Would probably be decent. I mean, personally I prefer strength and stamina, but agility will do just as good. I feel like, problem is though, I don't really fancy the concept of losing out on crit rating. Tell you what, the Lich King did equip us with pretty decent stuff. And we're already halfway to the next level, so, you know, we've just basically started questing in this area. So that's how quickly things can go. And I do like it when things are close to each other and we can actually pull groups of creatures. It does make it fun. Okay, I thought I had another. No.
The Legion's end draws
Okay,
near.
fell spirits. What did? Okay. I'm not sure what's wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is who gave us the quest to bless the things. The skeletons in the Path of Glory. Clearly it's not you. I must have remembered it wrong. Okay. We have another quest that we've completed down here. So might as well do that. Ooh. I slipped between those two poles right there. I thought I was going to get stuck there. And I don't have a mount. Well, a flying mount to get me out of there. So that would have really been terrible for me. Alright, let's grab this one. We've done that. Mail, leather, cloth. Right, what's more expensive? This one. Okay, cool. And that's how I sort those quests out. 14,000 XP. I remember while leveling up the paladin, when we got 14,000 XP, I thought it was magnificent when we saw that much XP. Now, bear in mind, we still have the Joyous Journeys buff here helping us out. Okay, so we need to go into the mine, which should be pretty easy peasy. And things are looking pretty clear here on the map, where we're actually going quite nicely. I think there's about roughly about 60 quests per zone, I believe, give or take a couple. But I average it at around the 60 mark, so we're doing all right. We've made decent progress here. And of course, that does include, you know, the to and fro quests, or that's what I call them. Basically, go and talk to someone, and then that someone sends you to talk to someone else, kind of thing. So there's roughly about 60 quests per map, as far as I understand it. And I know that from the achievements tab. I was only looking at them because that might be something eventually, at some point, that I'll be looking to complete or work towards, basically. Also, just a fun fact, and this is only because I've been kind of looking up on various sources, the lore. So this was initially, so Outland was initially a planet. This is what is left of it, and this was the Orcs planet initially. So this is where they come from. The Draenei are not native to this planet. They come from a different planet, but they are being chased by Sargeras, basically. And Sargeras kind of looks very Draenei-esque. If that's not a word, I invented it just now, so it is. But he looks very similar. He's a red version of a Draenei, basically, with horns and stuff. So he's the leader of the Fel, basically, or the demons. And so they ran, so the Draenei ran to kind of get away from Sargeras. They didn't want to join him. And they ended up on this planet. I don't know what it's called. Don't remember what it's called. And basically they were fine for a while. He then found them and started more or less persecuting, executing them, stuff like that. And bringing in his Fel army. He then started corrupting the land and stuff like that. And obviously with that he started corrupting the Orcs. And through his corruption and everything, he more or less destroyed the planet. And so in that process, basically, I think it kind of exploded, leaving Outlands. Basically, that's the only section or portion of that planet that kind of survived, kind of made it. It's kind of cool, the story. I do like it. Scientifically speaking, doesn't really work out. You know, there's no atmosphere, or shouldn't be any atmosphere. But I guess there is magic in this world, so it does count for quite a while. Now, this dude has completed his quest, or the reason he was down here, which is kind of good. You know, I'm glad for him. I still have to destroy these dudes. 9 of 12. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that is kind of the story for Outland, and it makes a lot more sense now that I play it. When I played it initially, I'm gonna be honest and say I didn't really know much of the lore. Obviously, at that time, there wasn't really much of the lore to see and know. There were plenty of gaps, many guesses, stuff like that. And now, I suppose, with everything and how the story has progressed, the picture is bigger. There's or fewer gaps in the story. You know, a lot less guessing. Turns out the Lich King is an agent for the evil, just like Illidan Stormrage, just like Sargeras. Basically working for, I think it's called the Keeper. Basically, they're all agents for him, or at least the Arthas version of the Lich King, anyways. See, some of the retail version does make me want to play it just for the story. I think the story is pretty decent, and I wouldn't mind living that story, if that makes sense, or experiencing it. I don't know, in honesty, if I'd find it to my liking as much, but it is definitely an interesting little story, and I like the way it's evolved. And I guess it puts into context what happened here, or what happens here into Outland, what happens in Northrend as well. And of course, there is a Warcraft game that does continue the story between Outlands and Northrend, where Illidan faces off against the Lich King, and he ends up losing the battle. Actually, Lich King is that powerful. But it's really interesting because they are basically being led by the same master, really. But it's really weird. So basically, Lich King goes rogue. And so Sargeras sends Illidan to stop the Lich King. But then it's really weird. Yeah, there's a lot of turns and twists in the story. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I do like it. It's if you're into good stories and good lore, World of Warcraft is definitely a place to get your kicks. So we're now back to this guy that is the one that was killed before. We have to do him as well. I'm not too worried about taking him down myself. Absolutely doable. The only thing I do worry about is the NPC being tagged by another Death Knight or something like that when I'm trying to do it. Now, if people queue up for it and wait patiently, I don't mind that. Don't mind it at all. But when you get your kills stolen from you, it's a bit frustrating. See, I was here first. They were second, so I'm going to have to try and kind of time my AoE with the spawn of this dude just to kind of be safe. Now I know he's about to start spawning when his corpse disappears, so I'm just gonna have to pay attention with that, and then I will have to drop Death and Decay on the ground to aggro him and hopefully do some damage. The way the game works is the first person to hit an NPC, that NPC belongs, or the kill will be attributed to that person. So I want to try and hit him first. I know Death and Decay does quick damage, I guess. This is one of the problems I had with the Paladin as well, as I was leveling up. Some, or a lot of spells, or abilities even, are hidden behind cast bars, and it can take a bit of time. But we've already tagged him, he's ours. And he's going to go down mighty quick too, so he's not going to stand up for too long. Hey, we got a Maiden of Pain. There we go. I guess we are done for now in this area. So we're gonna just basically get out of here. I don't know if I can do this without aggroing everybody, so I'm gonna try. Okay, that actually worked out. Yeah. It's not often that what I plan that actually works out, you know. Suppose it is a perk of being the level that I am. So I mean, we're still pretty much in a good level range for the zone. But bear in mind that most people will be doing these quests at level 58. So I'm 2 levels above the zone. But as I said, I want to complete the quest here. There's definitely good XP to be earned from the levels and the quest. That didn't really sound really well. There's definitely good XP to be earned here from all the quests. And of course, there's also good reputation to be earned with Honor Old, which is kind of what I'm after. So I do want to get to Honored with Honor Old. The reason for that is, of course, we want the key that will unlock the heroics here. And that's how you do stuff in this version of World of Warcraft. You have to do rep grind, and then that will let you buy the heroic dungeon key. Alright, we just had a jet fly by, which is always fun. There's been quite a few today. Yeah, there's another one. It's a bit annoying when they do that. I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe Putin's attacking UK or something. Maybe, I don't know. There was quite a few today, so... yeah. Oh, here's another one. I don't know if you guys... I'm sure you can hear them. You'll be... I'm gonna have to listen back just to make sure, just to see how bad... Are you serious? I thought there was a 4th one. Yes, there is. So 4 jets just flew by, and they weren't your people carrier jets. They were your actual military jets, which I'm not sure what's going on. Because not long ago, another 4 flew by. They've been flying about the whole day. I don't know. Maybe Putin's a bit jealous that he didn't get invited to the Queen's funeral. Who knows? Anyways, back to questing, and so far I've done really well with how many quests I could do. So that normally means I can get a lot of XP really quickly just through questing. That actually tells me that I can actually get to level 70 mighty quick. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on getting my Death Knight to level 70. I still have several characters I need to work on in the background. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the Warlock. I should probably do some work on the Warlock. That's fine. We can always save it for the Wrath of the Lich King. Why not? I don't see an issue with that. I will eventually level up the Warlock. Although on the Warlock I do have Alchemy and Herbalism. I might want to change to something else in terms of professions. I could do what's it called? I could do tailoring. Oh god, that word was not coming to me, was it? Yes, I could do tailoring on the Warlock. I don't know. I feel like Herbalism and Alchemy would probably work. Although Alchemy really isn't a profession that makes money, but it does make potions to keep the Warlock alive. I don't know how well they do at the auction house and stuff. So, and saying that, with the potions, I could definitely be splitting them amongst my characters. But I feel like there should be potentially, I don't know, they're not that expensive, so I might potentially change to something different. I could do tailoring and inscription. That's always a possibility. Yeah. And then with tailoring, you can get bags that are larger. That could be a thing. I'll think about it. I'll have to think about it. I might change professions, but I'm not sure right now. Let's see if we can find some more of these worms. Now, the sad thing is that we're not the only ones going for these worms. There's actually quite a few people questing here. And just like me, they're able to do a lot of damage, so they're probably pulling multiple worms. Although with these guys, they don't really behave like other NPCs where you can actually group them together, so it can be somewhat frustrating with these. You do have to take them as single targets. I know that because I tried it. You got lucky with 2 worms there, but most often that's kind of a bit of a luck thing. And he is a Shadow Priest, so he is ranged. It does help. Let's see if we can find another one. Not getting very lucky here. There's one there, but that's already been aggroed by someone else. I'd be happy if I can find just another one. I'm looking at the time. I think what I'll do is I'll take a quick break here. If we can find another one, but I'm not seeing anything. I don't seem to be very lucky here. Well, right. Well, it's not happening for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break here. And then I will see you folks in the next episode. I'm definitely going to be pushing forward with the Death Knight. Let's get him to 70. Correction. But thank you all for taking the time to spend this with me. Oh, there's one right there. Thank you all for taking the time to spend it with me. I really do appreciate it. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, stay safe, folks.